in this series, I've covered how we got to the Rick Berry situation. I also covered about some characters who basically could be villains, but definitely you can't give them villainy for anything. And I also talk about Paige and the student body and why they could be villains. But this person is basically blamed a lot for her villainy, quote unquote. Basically, she was the cause girl. She was basically the girl in seasons 1, 2, and 3 who was kind of pompous and pious. And basically, she would cry foul if something doesn't go her way. She was basically hated and loved. And basically, she would go through hoops trying to do what she thinks is right, but not in other people's eyes. Yes, I am definitely talking about Emma Nelson. Is she a villain? Let's find out. So, good old Emma Nelson, basically one of the people who thinks that she should be a villain and such. Of course, this is not basically a talk about Emma's character prior to season 4, but basically, Emma went through a lot of causes, such as about squeegee kids and basically the morning news and all that, thinking that it's biased and all that, and writes an article about it. But Sean's brother hates the fact because, they pay for computers so that Sean can have an education and all that. There's also the factor of basically the Power Squad. Basically, she wants to write an article about how cheerleading is sexist and all that. And basically, Paige doesn't want Emma to get involved because basically it's going to cause the end of Spirit Squad, if you will. Now, Emma's cause of sexism isn't because of gender equality. As Paige says, we all have boys on the squad. It's because cheerleaders are basically portrayed as narrow minded, dim witted people. There was also maybe some hatred because Emma didn't make the squad and many did. But basically, Emma got a little bit of comeuppance. She also had gossiped about Liberty, thinking that Armstrong was hurting her because, had an arm around Liberty and she was scared of all that. Basically, being catfished in the first few episodes of the series, basically, Emma probably felt inclined to basically think that maybe Liberty is being groomed and all that. Of course, Liberty gets mad at Emma, but, Emma had a good reason. And then in season 2, she was not happy that her mom was dating her teacher, basically probably being laughed at and all that. And she wants the science fair project. And Liberty basically convinces her that with Snake as a judge, basically that, that's why you won. Even though Manny basically says that she's just jealous. And Liberty basically tells Emma that that's not the Emma we all know and love. Liberty lost. You got to learn to lose, and then all that. You can't win every time. Well, she gets close to Snake, but she's also upset over the fact that Spike might be aborting the kid, like her unborn brother, and Spike basically is angry at Emma for that. Says I don't want to make a mistake again, and then Emma feels like she has to save the baby because she was nearly aborted. Basically, gives her a platform. And then the genetically modified foods thing, basically, she did do some bad things, and I agree. But basically, in the end, she was actually not really a fill in for that. She passed out flyers. She had them taken away. She was going to concede, but basically, she got triggered. Emma being triggered was huge, especially with season 3. Manny trying to sexualize herself. She was worried about Manny. And then basically, the fact is, Manny wants her to go after Chris, after though Emma feels that Chris is with Manny, with another girl. And then Manny, of course, steals Craig from Ashley, being hypocritical and all that. And then, Emma dealing with Manny wanting abortion. Emma was not too happy about abortion. It's a hot button topic for her. And basically put, Emma actually agrees in a sense. She says that, it's Manny's body and her choice. And I think Emma realized that. It's possible that Spike might have talked to Emma about Manny's problems and all that, and Emma says that if she wasn't my best friend, I'd be furious. But she's my best friend, and she has to make the right decision. And of course, everyone was shocked. Of course, this will lead to season 4 and the causes and all that. Now, before the episode when Rick comes back, that being Mercy Street, Emma basically decides to get herself involved with Chris. They had split up during the summer. I don't know who initiated, but basically Chris and Emma finds out that Manny has Liberty Party has eyes on Chris, and basically she thinks that if Chris and I can't work it out, then how can Chris and Liberty work it out? So basically, she was worried about her own self-image. Unfortunately, her self-image, what people think of her and what she thinks of herself, are two different things. But long story short, Emma basically ticks off Liberty. Liberty doesn't want anything to do with Emma, and Manny basically does it too. But Manny might have been a unwilling participant. So of course Emma goes through that, losing 2 of her friends. She bumps into Paige's clique, and they talk about how much Rick is a psycho and all that. And basically Emma figured we need to do something about it. And then after Rick is in the hallway, she decides she has to step in somehow. But Raj basically shoos her away, saying that, Emma, this isn't anything to do with you. The school doesn't want him. So anyway, Radich basically decides to tell Emma off, saying that it's not one of your stupid causes or crusades, in a sense. I mean, both can be the same thing. And that basically stay out of it. And, Rick is happy because Radich stood up to Emma. And, for different reasons, I've got to say much. I won't say much about the Radich Emma rhetoric until Radich's video, but basically put, Emma's not too happy. Emma looks after Paige in the girls' bathroom, and basically Paige decides to confide to Emma, we need to do something to get this monster out, because the administration refuses to do a thing about it. So Emma basically says, I have a plan. And then, Paige says, let's go to the dot and talk about it. And then, ironically, in the girls' bathroom, there's Manny and Liberty. And basically, Emma tells her that basically, you can have your hot tub. I'm going for tea with Paige and her friends. So basically, that is humongous. So basically, they're at the dot and all that. Emma's fitting in with Paige's clique. And Rick says, basically, don't threaten me because Raj won't like that. And Emma says, you're right, but you're off school grounds, and pushes him out. So basically, she's proving herself to Paige's clique that she hates Rick. So they do the silent campaign with the orange ribbons and all that. And Emma's happy as can be. Paige is happy for Emma. So basically, Emma decides to get things going. And basically, she's happy about it. Her orange ribbon campaign is going to get Rick out silently. Basically put, that's what seems to happen, but the students take it differently. Rick decides to give money to Emma to try to alleviate this situation. Emma at first is reluctant, but then basically Emma says $500, $500+, and she's like, this will be perfect. Alex intercepts a check and rips it up. And Emma basically tells Alex, what do you know about domestic violence? Before being told off. Well, of course, we didn't know about Alex and all that. So Emma is upset. Emma's more upset that Alex basically tells Paige that Emma might have some sympathy towards Rick. And basically, Paige tells Emma, if you want to stay in this group, you can't have any sympathy towards Rick. Don't worry, I won't. And basically trips him up in the dot. And then basically the boys think he's going to beat up on Emma, so they decide to beat him up. When Alex steps in, Emma says, this is not what the cause is for. Get over it. They basically yell back that your cause and your popularity is over. No cause is worth this. And basically Emma is left all alone. She doesn't really have much friends left. And Rick is now with her. Has eyes on her. Emma makes the right decision by basically telling Rick that I only did it because it was the right thing to do. And this doesn't mean I like you in any shape or form. Basically, taking that bridge. Rick tells Rick, you shouldn't come back to Degrassi because they're not going to believe you changed. Rick tells her that they'll believe him. Everything will be fine. So of course Emma is on your wacky brain with Rick, Toby, and Heather Sinclair. Basically the only three people around her and all that. And then of course Jimmy takes over for Heather. Emma actually gives Toby and Rick a kiss on the list, like when they do their kissing bet, just out of pity. But little did Emma know that the kiss got um, Rick closer to Emma. So anyway, Emma doesn't really feel that badly about things. But she does tell Rick to deal with the situation with Jimmy and him. And despite Radish blowing Rick off, Rick got his answers and all that. He's happy and basically tells Emma he's happy that she did it. And she said, "You're welcome." So then you got yourself, like, she's fine and all that. But Rick acts weird towards her, holds her hand close to the end of regulation of the game, and then basically whispers, "This is for you," at him, at her, sorry, in her ear. Emma still doesn't feel something suspicious, or does she? But basically put, she sees Rick gets pain and feathered. She gets it. She basically decides that she needs to help Rick out. So she tries calmly to explain to Rick that, the people who did this, they don't know the real you. You're proving yourself. You won us the competition. People are not going to remember the pain and feathers. They're going to remember who won the TV stuff. And then Rick decides to kiss her, and Emma pulls away, saying, "What are you doing? I thought you liked me. I pitied you. Get a clue." And basically, Rick's left on a lonely island. Emma tells Toby that basically they're gonna show the game, but they'll make sure that that the pain and feathers are edited out. And then shocked that Rick came back. So basically, Emma wouldn't be seen until she, Sean, and Toby just happened to turn into Rick's direction after Rick shot Jimmy. Rick decides to go after Emma, saying that, "I thought you liked me." But there was something else. Basically, he's mad at Emma and all that. Sean tries to calm him down. Rick points a gun at Emma. There's a fight ensuing, and Rick ends up losing the gunfight. Emma is shocked. She's in the meeting room with Spike and Snake and basically doesn't know what happened. All that. Raj comes into the room and basically wants Simpson to look at warning signs, but Simpson doesn't care about that. Basically, he snipes at Radish. Emma hears that. Spike tells them both to calm down because, it's not going to help things with Emma. And Radish just said, "Emma, I'm sorry for what happened." And he may have been genuine. Emma was fine at the end, kind of, like saying that after Spike talked about the tragedy, he said, "You think that the school is a sainthood?" All that. And basically, she was there for Toby at the vigil, holding him. Oh my gosh. Could this be something? But anyway, Emma deals with people having to look at her, and basically it's like, what the heck is going on? Like, I guess they kind of knew that she was being targeted by Rick, and they're too concerned about her. She sees Sean, she hugs him, says, "Thank you for saving my life," and all that. And it seems like, she's drawing close to Sean. Like, she goes to Wasaga Beach with Sean for him to confront his parents and all that. She's enjoying herself. I guess she figures that Sean is the right person for her. But of course, Sean leaves for PTSD reasons. Understandable. Emma is okay with it. But in the end, I think Emma was upset because, she wanted to be with a guy and basically no one would do that for her. She seemed fine on the drama club. She seemed fine when she basically brushes off the Radishes solemn. But we find out that Emma has been hiding internally her problems. Basically, the shooting has gotten her so bad that she can't focus on a lot of things. And worst of all, Jay basically takes her down to the ravine, and Emma feels great about herself. Well, yeah, true. But then there was a gonorrhea attack. Emma basically is shunned by the school, and she's upset. However, she gets a good Draka performance. Spike and Snake are proud of her. But Emma basically said she needed to go to the clinic to find out about the gonorrhea attack. And basically, Snake doesn't tell Spike exactly what Emma's problem is. She basically said that there's something going around at the school. And Emma basically tells Spike and Snake that she just wanted to be perfect for everybody. That's what she felt like she had nothing to do with the situation. However, Spike and Snake assure her she doesn't be perfect. And she basically goes on to say that the whole thing with Rick and all that, and the gun pointed at me and all that, I just wanted to be myself, but I just couldn't be myself. And, she has to worry about things. Now, the question, of course, on everyone's lips is Emma a villain? I don't think she's a villain. If you tell the student body before Rick died, she's a villain. Basically, a lot of people would think that Emma was a villain for protecting Rick and all that. But then again, after Rick died, basically she's not a villain anymore. She's basically just somebody who just got unlucky, I guess. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people don't like Emma and her personality and all that. The Degrassi Reddit community would agree with that statement. Here's the thing, though. Emma protected Rick because it was the right thing to do. Yeah, you could say that Emma basically may have given Rick more ammo to stay at Degrassi and all that. They should have just let Rick be bullied. And then, he might have gotten out of it. The combination of that fact and the fact that Paige probably used her queen bee status to get everyone to run away from Emma in a sense meant that Emma was basically on a lonely island. The only friends she had were the Quiz Bowl team and all that. Here's the thing though. Emma's cause was just to raise awareness about domestic violence. And basically Rick could push him out of the school. But how would that push him out of the school? It doesn't make sense. Like, the way I look at it is like, it just doesn't make any sense. How's that going to push him out of Degrassi? But regardless, Emma had just cause and all that. The fact is, they did the cause, and basically, Emma probably did it for a second reason. Well, one, to get rid of Rick, and two, to get back at Raj for calling her causes / crusades stupid. It just goes to prove that Raditch has a grudge against Emma because he's tired of having to deal with Emma's crusades and all that. And remember, season 2 in the genetically modified foods thing, he basically is pissed off because Emma basically went on the school's TV system and actually said, the freedom of speech, and she's threatened with a week's suspension from school. And she actually says it out loud. And I guess Raditch is probably thinking that now the students are going to take advantage of him, or basically he's upset that someone called him out. But a little bit more on the Raditch situation when his video comes up. So basically, yeah, all that. Emma probably, it's not been mentioned, but she probably in the back of her head thought that if the bullying ruined Rick, and if Raj found out, Raj was going to throw the book at her. But in my mind, I think Emma would probably think, wait a minute, I don't have friends. I might as well throw Paige and the clique under the bus. So basically, Emma would drag Paige, Spinner, and the rest down with her. That wouldn't be a bad idea. And all that. Then she would have been a massive villain. But the fact of the matter is that season 4 really changed her character and all that. I think this, before Ricky even came back, when Emma got in trouble for trying to pull Chris away from Liberty without dating Chris. I don't think she wanted Chris. I think she just wanted Chris not to date Liberty. Why? Racist? Nah, I don't think it has racist overtones. You can think what you like. But simply put, guys, the fact of the matter is that, why did she care about who would date her ex. Well, Sean was basically her first boyfriend. I mean, yeah, she was jealous in season 3 that Sean moved on and found somebody before her. But basically, she was mad at Sean. She wasn't mad at Chris. She just was being self-righteous in a way. And it blew in her face. The fact of the matter is that Emma probably learned her lesson. I hope she learned her lesson. But basically, yeah, her character really changed and all that. And of course, it also really, really, really changed after, having the sexual experience with Jay and all that. And, Manny telling Emma that basically the Emma we all know would never allow Jay to take advantage of her. I kept thinking that Emma made a statement saying, the Emma you all know and love is dead. And all that. But of course, the gun to her head. I mean, Emma should have gotten help. Spike and Snake, even though they were letting Emma do her own thing, they should have just coaxed her to help, get her help and all that. Because Emma was what I call zombie Emma in that situation. And then, I even made a Reddit post saying that, do you think that the writers were probably changing Emma's character because of early internet hate? Because, there were message boards around 2002, 2003, and basically maybe Emma was getting a lot of hate, and the writers were like, fuck, we have to do something about this for Miriam's sake, the actress. But of course, Emma changed again. Like, basically, she was more boy crazy in that. It was weird in season 5 that she would actually want to be with Peter, even though Peter had basically framed Manny and sent a underage video of her. And it's like, what the heck? Peter rarely got in trouble. And, Emma took Manny in because Manny's parents kicked her out. I don't know for that, but like for the acting. So anyway, I think Emma, in a sense, may have had it in her head that if Manny had complained, she could probably have destroyed Manny. I doubt it, but, Emma's kind of in charge because she would be like, I saved you. I allowed you to come to my house. Now you're going to do things my way. But the fact of the matter is that, she's with Peter and all that. And she cares about Peter so much. Of course, Peter and her break up because of Peter's pettiness towards Sean. It's like, what the heck is going on? If you can say that much. And then Emma basically was all about trying to find a guy, trying to find someone to love because, maybe she had it after the shooting attack. She needed to be with somebody because the lack of boyfriend, Emma probably thought may have caused Rick to go after her. Although Rick might have tried to go after the boyfriend of Emma if Emma had one. So basically, yeah. So maybe because of Rick having the affection for her, she probably thought she needed a boy to protect her in a sense, in case someone like Rick was going to come around. Unfortunately, her relationship didn't work out. Sean didn't work out because he left for the army instead of her. Damien, because he cheated on Emma with Liberty, but Emma realized that Damien was the bad guy, not Liberty. And then Kelly, they had a good relationship, but Kelly took a job in the Yukon. And she probably thought his dad was basically being a piece of crap. So, yeah, Emma really changed after that. Emma also changed in the sense of her personality. Like, she basically was trying to be friends with Manny and Liberty for the long haul. And basically, after Manny and Liberty leave college to do their own thing, Manny to Hollywood and Liberty to go to law school, Emma felt like she's lost everybody. That she's lost and all that. That basically maybe she feels she's pissed too many people off. She just wants to have friends and all that. Because, friends helped her. And remember, she had no true friends, except maybe Toby, but when she got the gun pointed at her by Rick, maybe she realized that she should never have pissed off Manny and Liberty when she did. And of course, we all know one of the biggest changes was her causes. I mean, after season 4, What crusades did she go after? Season 5, not much of a crusade. Season 6, she crusaded to try to have Sean get a lawyer for Sean, which is weird because she was still with Peter. She was conflicted. She wanted to help Sean out, but she's still with Peter. Oh boy, Emma. And then, the Purple Dragon thing and all that. That was all, and the Recycle Project in season 9. That's all she did. Basically, she stopped her causes, and she did tell people that she lost her drive for causes and all that. Not, you might say, maybe because she's older and she realizes that fighting for these things is worthless, or obviously Rick putting the gun in her head. Because after all, guys, you got to remember, Emma might have been super and all that, but I think that Emma was basically kicking herself, blaming herself for the Rick situation because she thought that the Orange Ribbon campaign led to Rick's downfall and the bullying and all that. And she probably felt like she was going to get in trouble with the cops and all that if the stories came out. But Emma skated by. I mean, Emma is a villain in a sense, but after season 4, I don't think she was that much of a villain to people. Maybe dating the wrong people, but she hopefully got less hated and all that. But anyway, that's just me talking. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.